Okay, this is my informative speech, and this is my audience. Okay, so the Civil War, the FBI, and the world's largest naval base. What do they all have in common? The beautiful state of Virginia. Virginia is a melting pot of different views, cultures, and it's surrounded by great views. I grew up there, so I decided to do my speech on that. I know a lot about it, and I think it's a bit of a hidden gem, so I figured why not do my speech on that. I'm going to start by doing the geography and just breaking down a little bit about how the state is laid out. So Virginia is located on the east coast of the United States. The capital is Richmond, Virginia. It's broken down into 5 different regions. This first one shows a little bit of it on the slide, if you guys can see. It's just the mountains. That's the Shenandoah mountain range. So Virginia also has coastal plains, which it's on one side it's surrounded by water completely. It's actually surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay. I'll show you in the slides in a little bit. It has the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is rounded mountains and a lot of rivers. And then there's a part of it that's valleys and ridges, so just, the valleys of the mountains. And then the other part of it is the Piedmont region. It's just rolling hills and more mountains, but it's the foot of the mountains, so a different part. And then there's the Appalachian Plateau, which is an elevated part, and then it just kind of it's like an overview basically of the whole mountains. So that's the regions, the different regions. There's 5 of them. Virginia, like I said, is surrounded by water. So it was used back in the day for transportation between Virginia, Europe, and Africa, and the Caribbean. So different goods or people or just stuff like that would be transported using the waters. There's 4 major river systems in Virginia. It's a lot of water. And of course the Atlantic Ocean. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history from Virginia. There's a lot of it from the Civil War, like I said, to, way back in the beginning of the Jamestown settlement, which I'll talk a little bit about. So, on May 13th, 1607, the first settlement was made, which is Jamestown. It's actually located in Williamsburg, Virginia. So if you go there, you can actually see the whole town, how it was all set up, it was basically the first town. So everything's all set up. It shows you how everything was done back in the day. There's full replicas of each ships. There's 3 of them that came from Europe to Virginia, and you can see all of them. They also have a 4D theater, which will put on plays and stuff like that about what went on during Jamestown, and a little bit more about the history. There's also over 500 artifacts and different things that you could see at Jamestown. Next, I'm going to talk about the 4 founding fathers of the United States. Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and Mason are all from Virginia, actually. So George Washington's house, it's called Mount Vernon, and it's located in Alexandria, Virginia. You can actually tour it. It's really pretty. As well as Thomas Jefferson's house, which is called Monticello. That's also in Virginia. I'll show you a picture in a few minutes of it. There's also, since there's so much water, the Navy base is actually the United States' largest naval base is in Norfolk, Virginia, which is actually where I'm from. So it holds 75 ships and 134 aircrafts. It creates a lot of diversity and culture in Virginia because there's so many different people in the military from all over the country. It also does 275 flights a day, so it's a lot of flights. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is food and wine. And Virginia has a lot of really good food and wine options or beer options. Or yeah, they actually have over 200 breweries, 200 breweries, 300 cideries, and 40 distilleries. So yeah, they're also known for their seafood, blue crab, oyster, trout, and farming is also a big industry there. So I'm going to show you guys, this is a little bit of the breakdown that I was talking about. So this will show you all the different regions. On the left is actually Virginia Beach, so that's the coastal part, and then on the right is the mountains, the Shenandoah, which is basically all of it. And then this is the history I was talking about. That the first picture is Jamestown, and the next is the naval base. And then here's the foods. So that's the blue crab. They're also known for their peanuts. They grow there locally. Oysters, apples, and ham. And yeah, just one more. It's just the state flower, the state bird is the cardinal, and the flag. And that's why we're excited. This is my audience. And